Hey everyone, you guys know from the title, we'll be talking about DKNY for Donna Karan's New York 90s fashion wardrobe builder. So you guys know I had to do DKNY. Why? Because you guys know I did Ralph Lauren, I did Calvin Klein. So what other way to remember the 90s? Because you guys see that all these 90s patterns are coming back, then to do DKNY as well. So if that's some content you would like to see, please continue to watch. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. It's your girl Rochelle from Rochelle.Handmade.Designs, and in this video I'm going to be doing Donna Karan's 90s fashion wardrobe builder. So if you've been paying any attention or seeing any of the videos for the wardrobe builders, you guys know that I did a Ralph Lauren one. I have done a Caroline Bassett Kennedy one. I also did a how to do a basic everyday all year round wardrobe, which prompted me to do this one right here, DKNY. So I'm going to be showing you guys the items that you can put in your wardrobe and get you that DKNY style 90s fashion icon. Okay. So if you are new to the channel, welcome. Hello, Ciao, Guten, Aloha, Hola, Konnichiwa, Gwaan, Sabonani, Shalom, Bonjour, Tarve. If you are returning, you guys know what to do. Go get your quick snack, something to drink, grab your notebook. I'm go pause right here so you know to go grab your notebook, because these give you so many different ideas and information on what you can do if you are inspired to do something like this as well. This helps me to know what you guys want to see from me and the content you want to see from me on these type of videos. So go grab your notebooks, get your tea, your coffee, your snacks, whatever it is that you need, and come on back so we can go ahead and get into this video. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it. All right, so first things first, I want to say that I am behind the screens today because if you can't tell that your girl kind of lost her voice, I am under the weather a little bit, but that's not going to keep me down because I still got a lot of things behind the scenes that I'm working on. Okay, so I have like a little slight headache and a lot of sinus pressure going on, but I am trying to get better with a lot of, you know, Zyrtex and everything like thereof in order to, you know, bring that to you guys as well. So we're going to do this video today, okay? And I'm going to try not to ramble so much, all right? But this is Donna Karan's 90s fashion, and that was all about effortless sophistication and practical luxury. So she revolutionized the fashion industry with her concept. Now, if you were not like a 90s person and wasn't into fashion, then you would not know that Donna Karan had this concept of a 7 easy pieces, which aims to provide women with a versatile and interchangeable wardrobe. That was her goal. That was her idea. However, listen, we are in 2023 and I'm going to give you 23 items for this ultimate Donna Karan's wardrobe, or DKNY. I could just basically say DK, right? By this time, right? We're here. All right. So the visual was a perfect blend of comfort and style, featuring fluid silhouettes, luxurious fabrics, and one thing that DKNY focused on back in the 90s was all about neutral color palette. So that's what I'm going to give you. If you have been following along, you've been noticing that Calvin Klein was a neutral palette. The CK was a neutral palette. So neutral colors was all of the 90s. But there has been some things that are colorful in the 90s as well, with geometrical shapes and things of that nature as well. So it was a lot of color popping going on back then as well. But getting back to DK, so DK designs often embrace the power dressing trend of like the era It was all about like the modern woman or the multitasking woman. So a lot of the things that I'm going to show you use a lot of stretch fabrics, like your knits and your stretch wovens, twill, things of that nature that use a lot of the stretch fabric or knit fabrics, as well as what I'm going to show you. A lot of things also required a lot of drapes. Draping would be more like your, you know, something that drapes very well would be like your rayon, your challis, things of that nature like that. And, you know, your chemise as well has a good drape to it as well. So that's what I'll be showing you today. Now, a couple of things that I will tell you is that most of the pieces that DK did, it's an easy way for you to transition from day to night, you know, basically capturing the essence of a dynamic and fast-paced lifestyle back in the 90s. So the 90s for DKNY was a decade of redefining contemporary women's fashion, basically having you become like practical, but also sophisticated as well. So what I did before we get into these 23 items, okay, what I did was I went to Pinterest and I looked at the top memorable Donna Karan's look from her fashion shows, from the 90s fashion shows between the years of 1988 and 2000. Okay. So I went, looked at, you know, a lot of the memorable pieces that just kept popping up on Pinterest. And many of the looks I noticed were all neutral color palettes, which is what I'll be sharing with you today. So DK was also part of the 90s minimalism like CK and like Ralph Lauren. But in terms of DK, it was more or less intentional than, you know, your CK, right? So she went to design clothes, you know, she wanted to solve problem. She put the, I don't know what to wear, you know, that's how DKNY came about. She has clothing labels and things of that nature. So if you are not familiar with DKNY, go to the website. You will see that it was popular in the 90s and still popular today. So yeah, she became the queen of basics. So if you remember, I dropped a video, I want to say like 2 weeks ago, on how to build a basic everyday year-round wardrobe. And this is what prompted me to do this video, because DKNY is the queen of basic, with everything she made being not only beautiful, but useful in your wardrobe with just basic pieces that you can elevate your wardrobe. So just a couple of things before we get into it. You have your silk slip dresses, the skirts, the oversized sweaters, fitted turtlenecks, slim and wide leg trousers is what we'll be talking about. And of course, everything will be neutral colors. You could also do monochromatic looks as well, from head to toe, one color. And, you know, most of the things that DKNY did back then was a lot of blacks, grays, chocolate, browns, white, you know, just that neutral color palette. All right. Now that I felt like I talked a lot, let's go ahead and get into the 23 items and pieces that you can do to be inspired by DKNY. All right. So let's go ahead and get into it. So the first item is a tank top. Nope, it's not a button-down shirt, but we will probably make it there to a button-down shirt. But the first item is a tank top. Now, you guys know I'm going to give you patterns to go along with it. So you guys know, just chill out. We got it. We got it. I got it over here. So first item, tank top. I'm going to give you two patterns. And you guys know this already, is Simplicity 9114, which is the Mimi G pattern. And then also Simplicity 1366. Now, those are the two patterns I'm going to give you. However, there is a new pattern that came out, which is Simplicity 9826 and Simplicity 9827. You can also use those patterns. One is a missus, the other one is a woman's size pattern that you can use in order to get you a tank top or a cami. You could also use True Bias, just to throw a couple of them out there. You could use the True Bias Ogden cami as well. You could also use Mimi G's book that also features a cami or a tank as well. So those are some patterns that you can use in order to get you this tank top. Moving over to the second item. Item number 2 is a bodysuit. Okay. Now I'm going to give you a few patterns for that. First pattern, very cute pattern. A Vogue 9298. Yes, I like this bodysuit. Okay, so that's one of the patterns that I'll give you. The next pattern is Simplicity 8513, which is also a reissue of new. So basically that pattern was reissued into a new look pattern, and that new look pattern is new look 6752. So this pattern I have actually done. I did this in the fall of 2021 where I used this beautiful pink, white, and purple fabric and made Simplicity 8513. When this pattern was reissued into New Look 6752, I went ahead and grabbed that pattern as well because I did cut into the Simplicity pattern and I have a fresh new copy. So what I will do is trace from now on if I want to make that bodysuit again, which I do have plans to make another bodysuit. You don't need much fabric as well. Next pattern is Brandy Jones pattern, McCall's 8407. Love it, love it, love it. And Brandy also have a sew along that you could go to. I think it's on the McCall's YouTube channel that you can see her sew along for this pattern as well. Next pattern is Vogue 1923. That is an amazing bodysuit that you can do and get that into your wardrobe for this inspired wardrobe. All right. Moving over to the third item that you need for this inspired wardrobe, you need 2 turtlenecks, any color of your choosing. Now for me, I would say a black and a white would work perfectly because you can't go wrong with black or white. But you can also do, you know, like I said, any neutral color, black, gray, chocolate brown, just to name a few. So I'm going to give you 4 patterns. First one, I think you guys are tired of me saying this. It's Simplicity 9385. So I hear that pattern is a really, 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 really good pattern. All right. So the next ones I'm going to give you are actually dress patterns for a turtleneck, but you could also chop it off a little bit below the waist. I would say about 7 inches below the waist. You could chop that off and make you a top or a, you know, turtleneck top, right? First pattern is McCall 7999. Brittany J. Jones have done this pattern. Others have done this pattern as well. I can't think of who all have done this pattern, but I hear it's a really good pattern. Next pattern is McCall's 8138. Same thing. I'm not sure who did this pattern, but you know, it looks like a good pattern. All right, next pattern is McCall 7430. And Brittany J. Jones have done this pattern. She actually have a sew along for this pattern. So I'll link to the sew along for this pattern in the description box below. So let's go ahead and get over to the next one, which is item number 4. And you guys know what the deal is. A button down shirt. Yes, I said it, and I said we will make it there. A button down shirt. So I'm only going to give you my 2 favorite patterns and keep it short. Okay. Simplicity 9707 and Simplicity 1538. If you have not sewn either one of these patterns, Simplicity 1538, I have sewn like 4 times at this point. And it's on my cutting table. Not right now, but it will be on my cutting table to sew a few of them moving into the new year in 2024, because I want to put more colorful button-down shirts in my wardrobe. So when I create all of them, I will probably show you after I create all of them that I purchased a lot of fabric for. But that pattern only uses about 3 yards of fabric even. And what I plan on doing is using some scraps for kind of like, you know, the inside cuffs and stuff like that. So that's just an option that you could do. But 2 patterns, Simplicity 9707 or 9708 if you're on the woman's side, and Simplicity 1538. Moving over to the next one is an off-the-shoulder sweater or top. Now, I put sweater or top based off of the climate that you are in. So if you stay up north in like Chicago or New York or Minnesota or someplace by the Great Lakes, right? You may want a sweater. Whereas if you stay down south in Georgia or Florida or Texas where you're burning up, you know, you may just want a top, an off the shoulder top and, you know, flowy. So I'm giving both those options. So I'm only going to give 4 patterns. First pattern is Vogue 9242. Yep. The second pattern is Simplicity 8646. The next pattern is Vogue 9315. This pattern is gorgeous, y'all. I had to put it on there. I had to. And then the last pattern, I know Emily Hallman Designs did this pattern. Fell in love with it, with her version of it. And I actually like this pattern. I have it in my stash, but I haven't gotten around to making this pattern yet. I don't know why yet, but listen, we trying to use up a lot more of these patterns. It's Butterick 6519. All right. So that is all of the off the shoulder sweater or top patterns. Moving over to the next one, it is a wrap sweater or a wrap top. Once again, depending on your climate, you could choose a wrap sweater or you could choose a wrap top. To each his own and what you like. All right. I'm going to give you 4 patterns. So the first pattern is Simplicity 8954. The second pattern is Vogue 1679. The next pattern is Butterick 6930. And the last pattern is Simplicity 8644. Now, Simplicity 8644, I know Tabitha Sewer, she did this pattern and it looks amazing on her. I think if I remember correctly, and if my brain serves me well, without having old age going on, you know what I'm saying? I'm just joking with you guys. But she did it in a yellow. You could Google Simplicity 8644 and see what she created. I believe it was like a yellow polka dot, if I remember correctly. But listen, I got that old brain right now, so you know, it is what it is, right? Let's move over to the next item is a black sweater. Now, I'm not saying a black sweater or a black top. I'm saying like this is a black sweater. And I'm just going to give you 3 patterns because you guys have heard these patterns before. So the first one is New Look 6759. This one is a reissue McCall's pattern. I'll put that McCall's pattern up on the screen as well. The second one is McCall 7660. And you guys have seen this one as well. I have showed this in, I believe, both the Ralph Lauren as well as the Caroline Bassett Kennedy video as well. And the last one is McCall 7688. I have showed this one before. It's still on my list to sell. And I'm going to be working through a lot of these, you know, patterns that I'm telling you guys as well. So you may see these in upcoming collections that I have moving into the next year, the upcoming year, 2024. All right. Moving over to the next item is an oversized cardigan. Now, I'm going to be hitting you guys with a few patterns, okay? So the first pattern is New Look 6711. Now, I like this pattern. It is an easy to sew pattern. It has buttons down the front. I like it. I plan on making it, and you make it in a knit. Just giving you that. All right? Next one, and all of these needs to be made in a knit except for one, okay? And I'll give you one that you don't have to use knit. If you like a person like me who, it's not that I hate knits. I don't hate knits, but I'm cautious with knits because we have already discussed this before, all right? Second pattern is Simplicity 9716, right? Next pattern is Simplicity 9373. Now, I know Sarah from Naughty Gnomes Craft. She sold this pattern. It looks amazing on her. So I'll go ahead and put Sarah's link in the description box below so you could go over to her pattern review and see that, what she made. All right. The next one is Mrs. and Women's Size. It's a newer pattern that came out, I believe, in the fall. Simplicity, or maybe early fall, one of them. But it's Simplicity 9826 and Simplicity 9827. So this cardigan right here, you could do a whole wardrobe based off of this pattern right here. So don't miss out. If you haven't picked up this pattern, do so, okay? And the last one is a Simplicity 9691, which is a full wardrobe for the whole family. You could definitely do every single look on this pattern as well and get you a nice cardigan, but also get you a whole button-down shirt and a pair of pants, all right? Let's move over to the last item that's part of the top portion of your body, which is, of course, a blazer. Now, I'm going to give you 4 patterns. The first one is one I have done a complete sew along for a tailored blazer. Now I will be making this again in just your regular unlined blazer, but I showed how you can make this pattern and do it as a tailored blazer if you want to do like me and put lining in your blazer. Now I like lining in my blazers that I'm going to be wearing to work. So I used the tweed fabric and lined it with a pink lining. Now I already explained what happened to the blazer before, but if you are new here and you don't know, it got lost at the cleaners, okay? I'm not going to tell the whole story of what happened and how did I move forward from that. But I'm just going to say that it got lost at the cleaners. Do what you feel with that information. All right. Second pattern is Simplicity 8697. I think this is a nice boyfriend style blazer that you can do. This, it would be a little loose fitting, oversized. So just be mindful if you decide on this pattern. Next one is McCall 6172. So McCall 6172 is a more fitted blazer. Now Karen, she just made this pattern, I want to say about a week or so ago. So she did a pattern review for it, and I will put her handle in the description box below. All right. And the last pattern that I'm going to tell you is the Vicky Sews pattern. It's the Vicky Sews Fernanda pattern as well. So I feel like this would be a good blazer as well. All right. Let's move over to the lower portion of your body, which will be like your skirts, your pants, your trousers. You know what I'm talking about. All right. So the next item, a pair of ripped jeans. Now listen, I am not going to make jeans and then rip them up. I'm not going to do that. But if you decide to do that, by all means do so. All right. Next item is a slim pair of trousers. Slim pair of trousers. That was a tongue twister. So I'm going to give you a couple of patterns. First one, you guys know it's my favorite pattern, Simplicity 1165. Next pattern, Simplicity 8841. Next pattern, you can do the whole wardrobe of Simplicity 9184. You can do the vest or cardigan, whatever you want to call it, and the pants on that pattern. And the last pattern is Mimi G's Simplicity 8749. I did this pattern. I did both the pants as well as the jacket in a yellow when I did a collaboration with my friend Sarah from Learning So Much for Teacher's Edition last year. All right. So that's what we did last year for back to school. We did a teacher's edition and it's 8749 when I was a teacher last year. All right. So let's move over to the next one is white leg trousers. Now I'm going to be giving you 4 patterns and yeah, let's go ahead and get into it. Okay. So the first pattern is McCall 7757, which I sewed that pattern, but this pattern was reissued into New Look 6758. So if you do not have McCall 7757, you can pick up the reissue pattern of New Look 6758. So I did this as part of the top series back in 2021 in gray. And I love it. I'm going to pop a picture up so you're able to see that as well. I love it. I still wear the pants. Now, the off-the-shoulder top, I do not wear, to be honest with you, because I can't wear it to work. So I still wear the pants, and the pants get a lot of wear, and I need another pair. Let's just be honest, all right? Next pattern is New Look 6756. Now, this is also a reissue pattern from a McCall's pattern, which is McCall 7131. So I'm going to put that up on the screen so you're able to see that as well. But this pattern is also a reissue pattern. I feel that this would be a great pair of white leg trousers. Next pattern is Know Me 2053. This pattern just came out by Lindsay. And LaShawn did a complete kind of like a live sew along here on YouTube for this pattern. So I'm going to drop LaShawn's handle in the description box below so you're able to see that. But Know Me 2053 is a complete sew along for that on the Know Me YouTube channel as well. Now, LaShawn said that these pants are fabulous. So I'm going to take that. I'm going to take that and do these pants as well because you guys know. If you don't know, the next pattern I'm going to tell you is, you know, your girl Aronica's pattern. is hot too for a pair of wide leg trousers. Okay. And that pattern is Know Me 2028. Okay. Now you guys know I made the shorts on this pattern, but I feel that the shorts was so good, good, right? Go ahead and do the pants, the wide leg pants, and thank me later. All right. And the last pattern I'm going to say for wide leg pants, I did this pattern twice, actually now 3 times. I have not showed you guys the third time of me making this pattern, but it's Mimi G's high-waisted wide leg pants. Now, when I first made this pattern, I did it for the Black Panther movie, and I made the duster of 8177, and it wasn't a complete fill. It was more of, it was super duper tight in the waist area because, like I mentioned before, I gained weight from when I made it to when I wore it. I gained weight. All right, let's just put it like it is. Then I lost weight and redid it back in, I want to say June, when I did a second pair in collaboration with Joey, I'm sorry. And then I turned around and did those pants as part of Tia and Tamara, a collaboration with Joey from Joey. So I'll go ahead and put that picture up so you're able to see those wide leg pants. So now I did it a third time, and I have not showed you guys that yet, but I will show you that pretty soon. All right. Let's move over to the next one, is a light pair of trousers. Now, when I say a light pair of trousers, you can use whatever pattern that you want. Just make it a light color like khaki, a light brown would work, white would work, and off-white would work. You get my drift, right? So I'm only going to give you 2 patterns that's not like the slim trousers or your wide leg trousers. And I'm going to say McCall 7962, as well as Brittany J. Jones pattern, Know Me 2002. All right. So those are 2 good patterns that I feel will be good for your light trousers. All right. Moving over to the last one as part of your lower body portion of your body, which is a slip skirt. Now, I'm only going to give you 2 patterns. The first pattern I have said before, which is McCall 7931. Mimi G has a complete sew along for this pattern if you are interested in a slip skirt. Just make sure that your fabric is nice and like satin, silk, whatever, you know, in order to get you a nice, good skirt. All right. The other pattern is Vicky Sew Sati. I think it's called either a Sati or a Sati, either one, but you get what I'm saying. I'm going to put it up on the screen so you're able to see that. So that's the Vicky Sew pattern. So let's move over to the slip dress, okay? So I'm going to give you a couple of patterns. So the first one is Simplicity 9729, which is Madeline's pattern. A few sewers have already done this pattern. I have heard this is a super easy to sew pattern. Grace from So Lovely with Grace, she have done this pattern twice, 2 or 3 times. Since the pattern came out, she have gave me her review and said that this pattern is easy. So listen, I listen to a lot of the individuals in the sewing community that have done these patterns. So I'm just telling you what they have told me. I have not tried it for myself yet. So I just wanted to let you know that. Next pattern is Vogue 9278. This pattern came out either the beginning of this year in the springtime or the end of last year. So I feel like this pattern would be amazing for a slip dress. Next pattern is New Look 6653. This looks like an easy to sew slip dress or cami dress, whatever you want to call it. And then the other Big 4 pattern is Vogue 1962. Big 5, not Big 4, I'm sorry. It's Vogue 1962. This pattern, super simple, you know, slip dress as well. And now I'm going to give you 2 Vicky Sews patterns. The first one is Vicky Sew Lucia. And then the other one is the Vicky Sew Lacy. All right. So these 2 would be 2 good slip dresses that you can use. All right. Let's get over to the layering pieces. All right. So the layering pieces, one is an oversized coat. Now I'm going to give you 4 patterns for your oversized coat, but use whatever pattern that you choose. First pattern is Simplicity 8797. The next one is Nikki Brooks pattern, Know Me 2001. All right. And then the other pattern, I want to get around to doing this pattern pretty soon. But you know, with the weather here in Orlando, we're still in 80-degree weather and it's the middle of November. So we're not making no hot coats in the middle of November, okay? When it's 80 something degrees outside, pushing towards 90. But this one is McCall's 8438 and McCall's 8438 and McCall's 8439. So this one is one that has made it to the list of oversized coat. And the last oversized coat, also part of hashtag Sew Your View this month, in the month of November, is Julian Creates pattern Nomi 2059 or 2059. However you want to say that, right? But I'm just going to say it one more time. It's Nomi 2059. All right. So this pattern is hashtag Sew Your View along with Ella from Handmade Millennial. So jump on that if you are interested in doing this pattern. All right. Now, the last piece for this Donna Karan inspired wardrobe is a cape. I'm only going to give you one because I'm not going to bore you with a whole bunch of cape patterns. It's McCall's 8241. Now, I did not find a lot of capes that I would be inspired to tell you patterns to do because I don't make a lot of capes, but you can definitely share that in the comment section below for others to see. Now, getting over from the pieces into, of course, you guys know, headwear. I'm only going to give you one. Make sure you throw in a beret. So make sure you throw in a beret for your headwear. Now, let's go into accessories. So I'm just going to tell you a couple of things that you will definitely, you need some earrings, bracelets, necklace, sunglasses, and then choose 3 different type of handbags in order to, you know, pair and make sure all of your pieces blend together and go well together. So I would say a black clutch, any type of messenger bag, and a satchel will work perfectly in order to do this collection. Last thing before I close out this video, footwear. All right. So you're going to need a black pair of boots. You're going to need a black pair of brogues. If you don't know what they are, look it up. Okay. Because you guys laugh when I said loafers, but I'm going to say brogues on this one. Black. Okay. You needed them in black. All right. A pair of flat animal print style shoes. Now, remind you when I did the Carolyn Bassett Kennedy video, I talked about a pair of loafers that was in animal print. You can use loafers, animal print, but I'm just saying flats. Any type of flats of your choosing, that's animal print. If you don't have flats that's animal print, you can use some heels. Use whatever you have, okay? Just make sure that it's an animal print. Next thing, black pair of heels. I would say closed toe, but if you want open toe, to each his own. Do you, boo-boo. And the last thing that you need is a pair of sneakers. I would go with black and white, black or white, or just black and white together in the sneaker. All right, no extra color to keep this neutral as possible. All right, well, that's all the items for this DKNY, Donna Karan, New York inspired wardrobe. I hope you enjoyed this video. And if you were inspired, please don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe button. Also, smash that notification bell so you are notified every time I upload a new video. So I'll catch you in the next video. And as always, keep sewing.